Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in this short video, I'm just going to talk about Thoma, who was released obviously on the current banner with Hu Tao, and he's the latest and newest character available in the game. He's a 4-star pyro polearm user, and many people already know that, and he's also a shielder, and his ult will inflict extra pyro damage for certain attacks. Not every attack, but certain attacks. So in this review, it's actually a summary of the situation because I actually do not have Thoma. If you guys saw in my polling video for Hu Tao C3, and I was trying to get some Thoma constellations, I actually did not know if I was going to get any, and in the end, I got my Hu Tao C3, but I didn't get any Thoma constellations, not even a C0. So unfortunately, I don't have an actual Thoma to review, even though I did a little bit of pre-farming for his materials already, but that's okay, because he'll always be rerun later and he'll be available in the standard banner moving forward. So for the purposes of this video, you'll be seeing me use him in the trial dungeon or the test run dungeon domain, and obviously many of you guys already tried him out, of course, so this is just me talking about my experience with him and my impression of him. Also, my summary here, my review summary here, will also include my impression of him from the Hangout event, which I did complete, and I did make a video about that before, as well as my pre-release analysis and how that may or may not have changed since then. So let's get into it. So before I start this, make sure that you guys are subscribed, hit the notification bell, make sure that you like this video, and also comment and ask me questions as well, and maybe also share your experiences with Thoma. I know that he is a popular character that people are really looking forward to for his design, maybe for his story. His story is kind of mediocre in my opinion, but you know, I mean, he's like a housekeeper, yes, okay, and he's from Mondstadt, yes, and then he's in Inazuma, and he just works for Ayaka. That's all, and he likes to eat. Fine, but then there's nothing more to it, you know what I mean? It's a very light story background, let's say, and his Hangout event was also similarly light. It's just about him like showcasing his abilities and talents and skills as a housekeeper or somebody that does stuff for the Kamisato clan, etc. So that's fine, nothing wrong with that, but obviously I also understand that he is a 4-star character, so they're not going to build out a whole storyline for him either, which is fine. Okay, so as you guys already know, in the test dungeon, you get him at 80 out of 80. You don't get crit rate, and you get crit damage. You basically get 26 only, and you get 91.9 here. Energy recharge is 214, and he has no pyro damage bonus. They gave him the Favonius Lance, which is a given. On his team, they gave him Shangling. I'm not going to focus on them, but yeah, it's just to give him pyro resonance and Kaya for Melt, I'm assuming. And then artifacts, they gave him Noblesse Oblige, 4-piece, so that he would have elemental burst damage boost, plus a boost to the party members. Constellations is C0 here, and talents is 888. Okay, going through the talents, this is just normal attacks. This is the one where he just shields, and it has been confirmed that there is like initial shield damage when he procs it, but then I don't believe that the shield itself does any more damage. It only absorbs damage, right? So yeah, it says he inflicts pyro to himself, and then it has a small, like, he does a kick basically. So there's a little bit of a pyro damage, that one initial kick when he activates it, basically. Okay, and the duration is pretty okay. 8 seconds, obviously for C0 here, maybe it gets longer with constellations, I don't know. And the cooldown is 15 seconds, so half the time. And then the burst is basically AoE pyro damage, as well as I believe it continues to refresh. I think both the skill and the burst are the same thing. You can continue refreshing them and stacking the shield, and absorbs more, etc. And it prolongs it a little bit. And this one also inflicts extra pyro damage, which is when you're doing normal attacks, basically it says, every time. And then this one, this passive extra talent here is when he obtains and refreshes the barrier, then his shield strength will increase by 5% for 6 seconds, and this can only be triggered once per 0.3 seconds and maximum 5 times. Okay, and then this one is just his burst. Yeah, whenever there's a fiery collapse, is increased by 2.2% of Thoma's max HP, and this is just a fishing bonus for those of you who are still fishing in the game. Constellation-wise, I believe, basically this is a cooldown reduction. This one is a duration increase for the burst. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it. This is plus 3 levels. This one is energy refunded after you activate the burst. This is plus 3 levels. And then this one is Let's see. The damage dealt by all party members, normal charge and plunging attack is increased by 15%. So this is a party buff. So you would want to get him at C6. However, it's very risky pulling on the any banner really, because there's no guarantee that you'll get a 4-star character. This is the first and only time so far, touch word and not to jinx it, that I did not get any constellations for a 4-star character. In the past, no matter whenever I'm summoning, if you've seen in my past summoning videos, whether it was Sayu or Sara, etc., I've been able to get them to C6, maybe not in the first session, but if I was to go back for that main 5-star and go for extra ones anyways, then I would eventually get them to C6 anyways, which is fine. In this case though, because I was so I can't access it right now, but because these are the trial characters, but my Hu Tao was C1 before I went into that polling, and then I was able to pull her to C3 really quickly. I mean, that was for me, it was an amazing summoning session. That was my luckiest so far, because I obviously refreshed my top up of Genesis crystals. I only did it twice, and I was able to get 4 5-star characters. Now, I'll be fair, I mean, I lost the 50-50 and I got a Mona and a Chi-Chi. I'll take it as a win, only because if you think about it, they're still 5-star characters and I don't have them at C6, right? So whatever, right? But then I agree, like winning the 50-50 would have been better, of course, but that's okay. Anyway, let's just get into it. Okay, and then I'll talk more about like what my thoughts are about this character. So the burst is, so his normal attacks have a really nice animation and smooth, fluid. Of course, his shield is there. And then I'm going to try to bring up some energy so that I can give him some energy so that he can get his burst up. Yeah. Yeah. So that's some, like, obviously these enemies are like, cryo and hydro and such, right? So then obviously there would be that extra reaction damage. He does have smooth animation and he's easy to use. I mean, all polearm users have that smoothness and that speed, which I like. The other thing that I would say about this character is that honestly, there is nothing special here that we haven't seen before. All the polearm characters can achieve really cool, like, normal attacks, etc. And honestly, his shield right now is nothing more special. It reminds me of Xin Yan's shield, if anything, right? Now, Xin Yan's shield just pulses a little bit, and it's a smaller AoE. This one throws it out forward as long as you continue to normal attack in front, right? And I get that. That's kind of cool. But at the same time, it's also not really that big of a deal. If you really think about it, I'm going to try to do something where we're going to combine the skills. Okay, so then there is definitely reaction damage, of course, but mind you, there's reaction damage regardless, right? Again, he's not really that big of a deal in my opinion, and now that I'm more seasoned as a player, and also even though I'm not a whale or anything, and I've been decreasing my overall spending and playing time with this game, but I will just say from my own experience, he is not a must-have character. I will just summarize that right here, right now. He's not a must-have character, he's not a must-pull character, he's not even someone that you have to use for pyro, because there's so many pyro characters in the game already at this point. There are better and stronger ones, honestly, and then his skill doesn't even actually do much damage. It's really just the burst only and his normal attack. That's all that he is. So when people ask me in my comments of my polling video for Hu Tao, am I disappointed that I didn't get a copy of him? I'm a little disappointed, yes. But at the same time, I'm also okay with it. I'll live. I have all the other characters up to this point in this game, except for him. And after using him, and from basically in my very, very early initial impressions, I was really looking forward to getting him. Then later on, right before the patch dropped, I started to feel like, oh, maybe he's actually not gonna do much other than just be like a little bit of a shielder and a little bit of a pyro enabler. And then after the patch dropped 2.2, then we were able to, get the trial, get his Hangout event, and I only did the Hangout event more recently. I didn't even do it right when 2.2 patch dropped, because I don't really care for the Hangout events. I will say they did a good job with the Hangout events this time around. They're shorter, faster, and easier. So I will say he was not impressive there either, even though in that event, as you might see in that other video, he got C3 in that video, but he did not get his ult up because I didn't kidnap him, so I couldn't bring him out to get interact with other party members to get his ult up, because in that little bit of a challenge, you're only cutting weeds basically, so there's no way to get energy back. So basically, in that one, I was only able to use his normal and his skill, and it was kind of pathetic, quite honestly. At that point, I kind of knew that he is not someone that I wanted to get, or that I had to have, let's say. I didn't mind having him, sure. So at this point, basically, I will just wrap up this video here then. This character is not a must-have character. It's not a must-pull character. Only pull on the Hu Tao banner, as I mentioned in the announcement banner video that I did. If you want to get Hu Tao, and if you want to get a Thoma perhaps as a bonus with some constellations, and if you want Sayu and Diona as well. So yeah, that's basically my overall final summary here. I will call this a final summary even though I don't have this character because I don't really care to have him. So, excuse me. So I don't think that I'm going to actually pull again on the Hu Tao banner to try to get a copy of him. I mean, that'd be kind of cool to try to get a copy of him, but then really I got my Hu Tao to C3 already. I don't need her any higher, C4, C5, or C6. I'm not trying to do that. I'm also, like I said, reducing my spending and my playtime. But in addition, like, even for Hu Tao, getting her to C3 was only so that it was a goal of mine because I do like her, but it was just to get her to C3 to give myself that little bit of room within that time frame of getting her to C3 to hopefully get Thoma and some constellations for him too, right? But unfortunately I got 0 for him, and I already got Hu Tao to C3, and I got 2 more 5-star constellations out of it for Mona and for Shishi, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, it's like, whatever, I don't think I need to go back for Thoma. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. I would just say I'm gonna avoid the banner now. I'm done, and I don't think I'm gonna pull even on. I already mentioned I'm not gonna pull on the Hu Tao weapon banner either for stuff Thoma because I already have it, and I don't care for the LOG for the end either. But let me know what your thoughts are. Do you guys like Thoma? Are you guys happy with him? If you got him, did you guys get him to C6? Are you guys going for him? Are you guys skipping him? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, and I will see you guys in the next video. In the next videos, I am going to be talking about the new characters coming in 2.3 because that seems to be more interesting. So I will see you there.